My name is Jalen.
We are a podcast about geek culture.
We talk about everything nerdy that interests us and maybe even some stuff that interests you.
So let's get into it. Today's topics, we have a friend here. His name is Bryce. Bryce, say hello.
How's it going, guys? You can find me over on my own channel with a buddy of mine, and our channel is Slice and Dice. Or you can find me on Twitch, streaming sometimes at Probably MVP.
Yes. We'll be talking about Goku versus Saitama debate. Some of you guys are revamping that, so I just want to look at it and tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fun one. We're also going to talk about a hobby of mine, which is gunpla building. I really enjoy that. I enjoy Gundam as a whole.
We're talking about a Tozuka manga contest by Shonen Jump. They're having like a little thing to get you into some of the newer editions coming out, like the Shonen Jump kind of thing. There's awards and all types of shit. We'll talk about it.
And we can't go anywhere without talking about a little bit of gaming. So today we're going to be talking about Dungeons and Dragons and the DM's experience, as well as a little bit of League of Legends controversy right now. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to leave a comment, subscribe maybe, leave a comment on who you think would be the victor between Saitama or Goku. Guarantee your opinion will be wrong.
Probably wrong.
But that's okay. So let's just go ahead and hop into it then.
First of all, I just want to say that anybody who thinks Goku would beat Saitama is probably wrong. Probably is, it's a stretch. I'm being nice. You are wrong. It's just a thing. Saitama is too strong. I don't know what to tell you. Goku, he's got some limit breaking abilities, but man's got no limit. So
yeah. So if we're looking at this from like an objective point of view, I guess from the other side of the looking glass, because I think the three of us are pretty much on the same side when it comes to this argument.
Yeah.
But I think that from the other side of the argument, you hear people saying a lot, well, one, Saitama can beat any other character in Shonen as a result of his limit-breaking potential. And so I think that main argument is kind of what people like to come up with when they like to debate the Goku versus Saitama fight, or even just Saitama versus any other Shonen character.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned Goku just because, it's a very popular character. And so I think your big thing there is that people talk about the fact, well, okay, Saitama breaks his limits when he needs to. Mm-hmm. He fights a strong character, and then he overcomes his limits, he gets stronger. And Goku also does the same thing. And so I think that's kind of the same thing. Or Yusuke, like in the tournament arc, right? You see him overcoming his limits, and he gets stronger. And so in Shonen, I think that's a really popular trope, is someone breaking their limits to overcome X factor.
Yeah. Overcome someone whooping that ass.
And I think that's the big argument, or the big debate there for like a lot of people who want to like talk about the sides of it, is Saitama, right? Because Saitama, you take him as a character, he has overcome his limits so far, but I think their biggest argument is he has not overcome his limits as far as another character has.
Yeah.
And so people will look at it and they'll go, okay, well, Saitama has fought a character, but that character wasn't on the same level strength-wise as Goku. Mm-hmm. So therefore, people say, well, he hasn't gotten to the point where he's broken his limit or past where Goku is, or past where Yusuke is, or past where X character is.
Yeah.
And so I think that's their main argument.
Yeah.
And if we're going from that point of view, I think that we should take your guys' opinions then, and then I guess I'll give my opinion on the end, because I think we're all still in agreement here, but we can do it that way after, now that I've kind of given the other point of view of it.
I think that Saitama's made to like poke fun at the I'm stronger than everyone trope. Like he just that's what he's built around. And so to say that he doesn't have a same power level as the people he's made to parody is just, I don't know, it's just woefully ignorant.
Well, I mean, look at it like this. I mean, Saitama, if you take Saitama and put him into any realistic universe, Saitama is not a serious a manga character in the shortest. I mean, there's not a moment where, you realistically look at him and you think, oh, he's a real He's a real badass. Like Saitama's the Krillin in my mind.
Don't
Personification wise.
Don't step on Krillin.
Oh yeah, don't step on him. He's my favorite Dragon Ball character, but at the same time, Krillin has pulled off some impressive feats, but he's never that serious until he's about to fucking die. Even Saitama had one. I think
you could argue that Krillin takes it the most serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's always worried about dying.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think dying 3 times kind of made him a little bit scared of that.
Hey, listen, third time's a charm. Then you get into the shit. You're really there. You're fucking in it. All right.
There for their shit.
Okay, it's like going back to Vietnam, but you've never been, so then you're just there and you're just chilling. That's the whole analogy there. But no, I mean the thing is that in my mind, where Saitama comes to play is Saitama is a character that is made to make fun of characters like Goku and shit like that, because he's the epitome of strength, speed, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He doesn't have a limit. There's no limit breaking. There's only serious punch moments, and then you get that cool explosion at the end and maybe some beautiful artwork. But at the same time, this argument is so... It's not a good argument, because the thing is that Goku isn't a immortal being, nor is he the strongest being there is. He's literally... In most perspectives in his universe, he's technically the strongest. But at the same time... That's not even true at all. Like, he's not stronger than Beerus. He can't one-on-one fight Beerus or Whis or Brawly. Can't do that. Brawly would smack his ass. And
smack
every
his
major
cheeks.
villain fight, the only villain that he beat singular was Frieza.
Because Frieza's a whole bitch.
And Dragon Ball Z, I would say. Dragon Ball Z. Otherwise, every other fight he's had to have some sort of help. Where Saitama hasn't had to have help. Saitama runs in and beats them, yawns, walks away. That's the end of the historical moment. And that's the thing I find about this argument that's always dumb, because you can argue a lot about Goku beating Saitama, but you also have to remember that a lot of Goku's moments had to do with having Vegeta there, or Krillin, or fucking Android 8
fighters.
Fucking
yeah.
we can go all the way back to Dragon Ball.
I mean, let's be honest though. Lately, it's the Goku and Vegeta show.
Yeah, it is.
Truth.
It is, and that's the fairest out of this argument, is that Goku's not a solo fighter. Goku is part of a team. No matter how much he wants to be the strongest or he wants to win every fight, he's not somebody who would win against Saitama in any way, shape, or form, and that's just the truth of it.
I've never seen Saitama take a single hit of damage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think the biggest factor here still is that the concept of Saitama hasn't reached the same limit as the other characters.
Well, like spoiler thing. If you skip like skip like 2 minutes. Skip 2 minutes. In the in the chapter where he fights a god being, right? That thing rips him into space, and then he rewinds time back to before he had the two year fucking increase in strength, and then he just breaks it because it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do what I want. I don't.
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with you.
Goku has the same sort of thing where, like, anybody with the time
with hit
thing,
yeah.
He punched the shit out of it and said, "Nah, fuck that." But like, it was a whole different. These are different types of things.
Well, and I think that's the biggest point, though. Is people keep saying, or people want to make the comparison that the characters are similar. The characters can do similar things because they're built on the same type of character, like, design. And I think that where that kind of falls flat is one, the creator of One Punch Man, he says, or he's like gone on record saying, I believe I saw it in like a Reddit post somewhere, where he actually was a really, really big fan of gag manga. And he always said that he really wanted to write a gag manga. And even though he said that doesn't necessarily mean 100% that One Punch Man is a gag manga. But I think that he did implement some elements. Just because you have a stereotype, just because you have something that is traditionally one way, doesn't mean you can't take a concept like that and twist it and alter it just slightly to give yourself a more unique perspective.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way that, greats, and that's kind of the way that they'll take story tropes and elements of books and movies, and they take these elements that are already there, that have already existed, and they'll twist it to make it just a little bit different, to give it its own unique spin, to make it good enough that you look at it and you're like, that's unique enough to be new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's what he did, was he took the idea of a gag character and he put it into a show or a manga to be its own main character.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of this, Jalen, even kind of, you gave me this perspective of saying that you thought what was it again? I'm now blanking on that, what you had told me earlier, but I guess I'll skip over that because I forgot that point entirely. That's upsetting, but I digress. All I'm saying is you have a character that's been twisted, the trope's been twisted, and he's put into his own manga as the main... Oh, I remember now. It was that you said that...
Everyone else has more character development
Everyone else has more character development than him. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that that's a big, a key point, is that the character's there to do what he does, and he does it well, and he's funny.
Yeah.
Every time he does it. He comes in, and he wins the fight, and it's this journey of not if he wins the fight, but how he wins the fight, because you know he's going to win every time.
Yeah.
And I think that, other people from other shows should be a little bit more accepting of, this fact, because I know it's a little bit less known, but Arale from Dragon Ball, and she even did make an appearance in Super, she is a gag character. But she is also, technically, Toriyama made her in her own series at one point as a manga. And I think that that's something really important for people to pick up on, is the fact that she is a gag character. Yeah. She is a gag character in a gag manga, but she is the main character. Typically, gag characters aren't main characters, but they can be. There can be this distortion of the traditional trope, and in that traditional trope, I think that you have this concept that you can have a character that's your main character and a gag character.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible to do that, or I don't think it's against the rules either. Having Saitama be a gag character, but also be a super strong, fun character to watch and read. It's not a bad thing, and the fact that he is so strong for some weird reason of no limiters and things like that. Guys, you're so loud.
Yeah, come on.
You're so loud.
Sorry, my dog's just
having no limiters and things like that. I mean, it's hard to 100% say that he would beat every shonen character, because he has little to no character development and little to no growth as a superpower being.
But I think that's the big point that really gets across the fact that he's just a gag character.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that he's there to overcome anything, not as a result of his own ability of breaking limits, but just the fact that the manga itself, it's almost like the universe has been pre-established that this is what he can do already. It doesn't matter what his abilities are, it just matters what he goes up against is defeated. That's it. That's the only rule, and that's just how it's played out, and that's how it will play out.
And it doesn't take away from how strong he actually is as a character.
No, it just doesn't matter how strong he is as a character, because he just will overcome anything. Your story points and your plot points and your elements of the manga aren't what you want them to be as One Punch Man's character development, Saitama's character development.
No.
It's not about that. It's about the story around him and the characters and what they deal with until the overpowered character gets there. It's almost like if you had a show in Dragon Ball Z, but you
It's like Yamcha.
like you're Yamcha and you're out there, you're experiencing all of this. Here's your story, and then once Goku gets there, it doesn't give you any of Goku's character development. It doesn't give you anything else about Goku. It's just like, oh, Goku's here, he wins. That's it. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that it's important to know that like Goku obviously it's been the Goku and Vegeta show for a while where like they do overcome and they do win, but we have seen instances like in the Goku versus Beerus fight where Goku loses.
Yeah.
Right? Like Goku can lose a fight. He can sometimes lose. He doesn't always overcome things. Sometimes, like Joe said, he needs the Z Warriors around him to help him, to aid him, to overcome. There's a story built around him.
Yeah.
But with Saitama, he doesn't need anyone else.
No.
If it was just Saitama, it would still end the same way with him winning every time.
Yeah, and like, like I get that Goku's a great super fucking fighter or whatever, and he's got his a million stands, but like, I don't know, he doesn't win every fight. It's just not a thing.
I mean, the people who are saying that Goku would win are the same people who've been watching Dragon Ball since it came over to the States back in the early 80s.
Yeah, like,
and then those people will never let that go because they've watched Goku's development. But at the same time, Saitama already beat Goku technically in the final episode of Season 1, or the final part of Season 1 when he fought.
Dude?
Yeah, dude, that was basically Goku. If you realistically look at it, Joe, if you realistically look at it,
that guy is close to Goku.
If you look at it,
I would say, truthfully, that the Dragon Ball Z verse is on a different level than most shonen.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it is on a different level than most shonen, but there are arguments you can make in different cases, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that this is one of those cases where it's like, okay, even though Saitama isn't necessarily fighting people on Goku's level, it doesn't change the fact that it is what it is. Like, that he's just pre-written to beat anyone.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And like, my thing is that when you look at the differences between Saitama and Goku, it's literally so far apart that it's not something where you can easily say, oh, this person will win in a fight. Because the thing is that you saying that this one person or Goku is going to win in a fight just means that you literally only watched Dragon Ball. And then you watched 2 episodes of One Punch Man, thought it was dumb, and then didn't watch it again. Realistically, that's that argument, and that's fair. Hey, listen, your opinion's your opinion, okay? Listen, Saitama killed Mr. Krabs, I don't give a fuck. Okay, or Larry the Lobster, whatever that name was. But the thing is that when you look at Dragon Ball is a completely different, separate universe. Goku's died how many fucking times? Goku's gotten his ass beat how many fucking times? Goku will forever be the underdog, but at the same time, he's a fan favorite, and it's understandable why people like him. And I understand. I honestly could say, at a certain point, there's a part of me that wants to argue that fact that Goku might be able to win because he can always come back. Nigga, there's not Dragon Balls in this case. You can't add all these stipulations to a fight that ultimately he's going to lose. He's going to lose. I look at Genos and I see a budding Vegeta, and I look at fucking Saitama at budding Vegeta.
Like
not
Vegeta level 1.
Yeah, Vegeta level 1. Like Vegeta 0. Okay, let's not get into the details of that. Or I see Trunks. How about that? That make you feel better?
No.
Okay. Well, that's you. Okay. My thing is that when you look at the two, there's not a comparison to be made. You also have to remember that One Punch Man isn't Jump. It's not Shonen. It's literally
Pretty sure it's Shonen.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it Shonen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the Jump manga.
It's in Jump.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't Jump. I thought it was an independent.
Nope, I'm pretty sure it's Jump.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's Viz. I'm pretty sure it's Viz. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up in a minute here.
I could be wrong, but
I just think that anybody who has the argument that Goku would win, you also have to take into the factor of looking back at Goku's fucking track record getting all the correct information there, because you're arguing the factor of a guy who could punch anything and kill everything in one hit just because he's bored versus a guy who wants to fight everybody. So with that, that's my argument. Okay, I just think that One Punch Man is a great character, great anime. He's an unstoppable human. That's it. That's done for me. This argument is completely pointless to some people because it just makes no fucking sense. And that's just me, honestly. Yeah, it's Fizz.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I thought it was Jump.
No. It's Viz.
Yeah, it's Viz.
Okay.
Alright. Well, look. We'll go to our next topic. Gunpla building.
One of my favorite hobbies to do. Because there's so many Gundam out there. There's so many different types.
So many different types.
Okay. Recently, I just got done building a Gundam. Was it RX-0? No, Gundam new type RX-023 or some shit like that. I can't remember. But it's interesting. It's interesting to build those when you get the types that you want. It's in you type.
I feel like I haven't done it myself, obviously, but I think that it kind of would have the same like level of like therapeuticness as like a Lego set, right? Like when you're younger, you know, and you like go buy like Legos and you like put them together. Or I mean, even if you're an adult still and you like to build Legos, right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that same concept, but like a little bit more intricate.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, it's grown up Legos, and the thing is that that's not the exact one. But it's the RX-93, but it's the purple model. It's not the yellow and black one, the one that's...
Hold on. I just looked up fucking Gundams to build. That's that's $2,000, one of those fucking Gundams.
Yeah, that's
why?
a metal structure.
Yeah, but why?
Because it's metal.
And you gotta continue to tell me why, because...
Okay, but hear me out. Yes, he has to put it together and he has to build it, but somebody has to intricately... or I guess computer program cut
a mold
for everything, right?
Yeah.
And so like
cast it with metal.
Yeah, right. And so like I think that sometimes you can like argue like, damn, like why is this so much money? But like when you offer a service that not everybody can do, right? Mm-hmm. Like let's say manufacturers didn't exist. Mm-hmm. Let's say that someone found a way to build that and design that and print that all on their own,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then sold that. That would be insane.
Yeah,
right. You look
$1,000.
I mean, okay, but at what point is it cost efficient to you? Because, right?
I haven't even seen the fucking Mark 1 that's $3,000.
Oh, I've seen the Mark 1 that's $3,000.
Okay,
but the Mark 1 that's $3,000 is also huge.
It's kind of like the 40K, right?
Yeah, 40K is ridiculous.
Yeah, 40K armies that cost like $2,000 for like 10
10
models.
One space marine is fucking $40.
Yeah,
and it's literally this size. I paid $60 for a Gundam that's the size of my fucking, like, from the bottom of my foot all the way up to my calf. Okay, I'm happy with that, so that's fine. Okay.
But I just think some of these like hobby companies need to chill out on their inflation of prices. Like, yeah, it gets more expensive to produce some of these things the way you're trying to produce it, and you know, having snap together parts are hard to,
especially since they're fucking hand grenades.
Hard to make without having something that'll just fucking explode when you breathe on it. Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just, it shouldn't be $1,000 for a single model of a hobby. That's what I feel.
Okay, well, not to be fair, not all of them are.
Yeah.
But like, okay, Joe. So take this, right?
Mm.
Let's say I'm brand new, which I guess I would be. If I have never built Gundams before, if I want to get into like the whole Gundam building verse, go recommend. How do I get into this? Why should I get into it?
Anything from Gundam build fighters to Gundam build divers are great starter kits.
I'd start with Haku, or what is it called?
The 00?
No, fuck.
That's one of the most difficult ones.
The
Zaku's?
Zaku, yeah.
Oh no, I hate those.
Zaku.
Those things are ugly.
Yeah, but they're easy to build.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Have you built one?
No.
Okay.
Seen one built?
Yeah. So moral of the story: don't build them. That's what I'm getting
at.
here.
my thing is that me being a fan of building Gundam, I like building Gundam. I don't like building Zaku. I don't like looking at Zaku.
Zakus are gross.
The thing is that if you want to get into Gundam, take a minute, do your research on what Gundam you want to build. Look at the Gundam. Don't start out saying, oh, I'm going to build a fucking master grade. I'm going to do this.
Never do that.
Yeah, because I just built 3 master grades in a row and I want to fucking blow my brains out through my pee hole. It's not fun! Until you finish it and you look at it and it's beautiful.
Like, oh my gosh.
But the thing is that if you want to start somewhere, start with the Gundam Build Fighter series. Reason why I say that is because you can watch the shows while building them, because Gundam Build Fighters is literally kids building Gunpla. And it's a really good story. Jalen's watched the first season, I think.
Yeah.
He liked it. It's fun.
I've watched Build Divers.
Build Divers, okay,
Yeah,
you watched Build Divers. Well,
I
your
watched
favorite Gundam model's in there too, the 00.
00, yeah.
Which is one of the hardest ones to build, actually.
Actually, it looks like it. That shit is...
It's painful.
Bananas.
I fucking break every single one of those I try to build. I stopped trying to build them after a while.
Oof.
No, but the thing is that if you're gonna get into Gundam, I could say go to Amazon, literally look up Gundam building kit tools. Buy the first $20 you see, just grab that one. Comes with everything that you legitimately need: tweezers, nippers, which are the fucking snips things to cut out the plastics and get everything ready. Comes with files and things like that, which are really useful for if you're like me, where you don't like plastic bits hanging off of your shit. It's annoying. I want my shit to be smooth. I don't apply the stickers to it, but it comes with tweezers, so you can apply stickers if you want to. I just find that too much work. It's a pain in the ass. The stickers always fall off. But I would always say start with Gundam Build Fighters. Move your way forward. I would say the easiest Gundam kit...
I'd even say go for the first Gundam.
No, that one... The 90s...
Actually, that's probably
90s
expensive as
shit.
fuck.
No, it's not. It's like $12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I'm
Gundam building is not expensive until you get to the more expensive kits. The thing is that you pay attention to what you want to build. Look at the Gundam models in the shows, and then look at the Gundam.
I would definitely pick your favorite Gundam model to build, and not just a random one that was like that you found and you wanted to get started, so you just grabbed one off the shelf. I would start one with that you truly like the look of and the aesthetic of, because building it is going to be frustrating. And if you don't like it in the first place, you're gonna stop.
But be aware, as somebody who's a fan of Gunpla building, Gundam building, however you want to say it, be aware that some of the plastic is not good. Okay, so if you go back to, if your favorite fucking Gundam is Gundam Wing 00 Endless Waltz, get the master grade of that after you built a few Gundams. Swear to God, there's 6 different master grade models. You'll know which one's the good one when you look at it, okay? Don't just buy it off a whim. If there's a shop near you, we live in Tacoma. I live in Tacoma, Washington. The thing is that if there's a shop near you, which there are like 2 near me, go to them, talk to the person, have somebody tell you what's best for you, what's best for new people. I find the Gundam Build Fighters series to be the best for new people because the kits are fun and they don't take too long to build. As a first comer, I think my first Gundam build was the Astray, which only took me an hour and a half. That was my first good build. And I painted that one and everything. That one's one of my favorites. It really depends. I've spent several days building one master grade before because I just couldn't fucking fathom my brain doing all that at the same time. But like I said, Gundam building, fun. If you want to get into it, start low, move your way up. Build at least 3 high-grade versions. Don't build Universal Century. You'll know what that is when you look at the box. It says Universal Century. Build Fighters all the way. Anything out of that series. Build Fighters Tri was my favorite series. It has my favorite Burning Fist Gundam. Just amazing sets. And honestly, that's how I feel. If you want to get into it and you're not a fan of Gundam, they also have Star Wars models and they have Dragon Ball Z models too.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Also, don't get them for kids.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's too complicated. I mean, some kids will be able to do it, yeah. But most kids will lose interest and...
Unless you get the SD models.
Probably. Well, yeah, the SD models are fine for kids because they're smaller and more compact and harder to break.
I got one for Tatum. He liked it.
But, yeah, unless the kid really loves Gundam, which I don't know too many kids that do.
I mean, it could be a fun project if kind of like how you sit there with the kid. You'd probably have to put it together. But it could be a cool little activity for them to watch and, see you, put it together and who knows, right?
Yeah.
It could be neat.
Yeah, and, just make sure that you point out where to cut the Gundam at, because Tatum kept on trying to cut the Gundam on the fucking actual plastic.
Through the, pieces?
Yeah, it made me want to...
Oh my god.
It gave me anxiety really bad, so I just took it out of his hands.
I tossed the whole box against the wall.
I'll just take it from here. You can put the stickers on. He was happy with that. Until he wasn't. And then I said I don't care. But, yeah, no, I enjoy gunpla building. I'll definitely put some pictures of my models up. Yeah, and I mean that's it about gunpla building. Like I said, those are some just quick recommendations.
Hey, look, there's a model right there, and then there's one spinning. There's one spinning right there.
I can't make them spin.
Joe's gonna love editing this.
I can't make them spin.
There's one with the gradient levels kind of off, so the light.
Oh my god! Did you see the explosions that he just did? Too?
Oh my god! What the fuck do you think? This video isn't coming out for a month. I'm watching a bunch of VFX tutorials on that shit. You bet your ass this is gonna be the shittiest looking thing you've seen yet.
Just like a little pop.
Yeah.
It took me a month to do that, okay?
It was like a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, just like the little click, and then just like the little fizzle out to the screen. Just
God damn it.
But yeah, next we're gonna talk about the Tozuka contest, I guess. What is it called? The Tozuka manga contest?
Yeah, it's the Tezuka manga award contest, whatever you'd like to call it. So basically, Shonen Jump has this thing that they're doing where it's this for their 100th anniversary special. The creators of One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, My Hero, Blue Exorcist, and a couple more of the creators. They're coming together, and they're going to be judging manga submissions all over the world from a bunch of different countries. Whether you're from the UK or whether you're from the United States, it doesn't really matter because they're taking submissions from everywhere. Because they're kind of in my opinion right now, they're kind of searching for their next big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, I'm thinking there could be, with the next big hit, we could have another Naruto. I 100% think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like they're doing a good thing here, giving new artists a platform to start, And then even if they don't get to top 3, the top 100 artists are still going to have exposure to what it's like to actually send manga to. Of course, it won't be exactly the same, but it'll be some sort of exposure to sending manga to a big producer and kind of having a look at it and getting exposure to. Maybe being criticized on some aspects of your manga from a higher tier kind of publishing company.
Well, I think that's a big point too. As long as you're willing to accept criticism, and as long as you're willing to take what they say with a grain of salt, right? Because the odds of you just producing a perfect anime or manga instantly is kind of absurd, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's a big thing, a big step for you to submit something and then for them to give you feedback on it, because you may get some feedback where they're well, listen, now here's a professional's point of view. I read your work personally, and A, B, and C is what I think should be done better.
Yeah.
Then you can take a constructively look at what you've done
Mm-hmm.
and go, okay, how do I fix A? How do I fix B? How do I fix C?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that means scrapping the whole thing and coming up with a new idea.
Yeah.
But maybe it means a few tweaks here and there, and you have a really good idea.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's really cool. And I mean, plus the first prize is like 2 million yen plus published weekly in Shonen Jump. And then I think the second prize is 1 million yen and another publication in Shonen Jump. And then the third place is like their honorable mention where you still get to like attend the award ceremony, but I believe you don't actually get published. But even if you do get an honorable mention, that's a huge
that's a huge boost
amount
for
of exposure.
for your brand.
Damn, they're giving away $20,000.
That's 20. Geez.
Yeah, 2 million yen
First
compared to US dollars.
It's $20,000.
It's about 18, but I mean, round it up a little bit there.
Well, you have to think. I also think you still get royalties too, right?
Exactly.
And I'm guessing that if you're employed by them, you're making money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly like how it all works. So this is all just speculation.
Yeah. It
But-
depends on like what the contract to have it published
Yeah, well,
weekly
and
looks like.
not to mention the fact that unless this is just them buying the rights to it straight out.
Straight up, yeah.
But what I'm saying is like you working on this, you getting a job, you like making your show known or your manga known. If it becomes popular, if they really are searching for their next big hit, it will get animated, right?
Yeah.
Or most likely get animated if they're really looking for the next big thing.
You could have companies like other than these the guys who are actually holding the contest coming to you, like Crunchyroll and things like that. And your
True.
Even if you don't want to go with Weekly Shonen Jump, you could probably get even hold talks with companies like Crunchyroll, Verve, Funimation, things like that.
Well, I mean, Crunchyroll, I don't know if you like picked up on this, but Crunchyroll just signed a deal with the webtoons with the Korean mangas because that's insane, right? The fact that they branched out and they're taking these like concepts like God of High School and Tower of God and stuff like that, and the fact that they're like implementing these and animating them because they're popular enough even over in these other countries, it shows that there's like a big step, and for like the future of this, that anybody can enjoy this medium and anybody can try to be a part of it.
Lots of artists can come forward and try to get their mangas and things published, and it seems a lot easier than it used to be because there were 4 or 5 companies with like 6 or 7, well, maybe like 10, 15 known publishers and writers and things like that. Like most people knew like the writer of One Piece, the writers of Dragon Ball Z, fucking Bleach, I almost called it Ichigo.
Yeah.
And things like that, but nobody really knew nobody could really name the sort of like more offbeat non-shonen anime writers and things like that.
Well, okay, so also like what do you guys think would happen? Like let's say and this really goes to show, in my opinion, how desperate they are for this next big hit. But like they haven't had the same success, especially here in the West, that they've had before.
Oh yeah.
Right? And with Naruto ending, with One Piece every day, every week coming closer and closer to that finish. And with Bleach, I mean Bleach is coming back now.
Yeah. Well, they're just doing the final arc.
Yeah, they're finishing it. But I think that it just kind of goes to show that they're coming to the end of these big powerhouses. And so what do you guys think happens if they don't find that next big hit?
If they don't find the next big hit, we're gonna see a spring of like just not shitty anime, but just anime that's been like just pushed quicker than it should have been to get screen time, to get Shonen Jump issues out, and we won't see things that are as good as Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Bleach. We won't see that anymore because there won't be the sort of dedication. It'll just be the kind of money grab kind of feel that some other things are doing. That's how I feel it'll go. What about you, Joe? What do you think of it?
I think that we're going to get a really interesting amount of people putting in a lot of point of views, and a lot of manga is going to be picked up by a lot of companies. No lie. Like, I don't necessarily read Jump strictly. Like,
yeah.
I read all over the place. Like,
I read more manhwa than manga, though.
Yeah, I do too.
I read more Korean manga than.
That's because it comes out every week, though. To be honest, where manga chapters come out after translations every month.
Well, I think the Japanese manga is they're running. I don't want to say they're running dry on ideas, but I think that they are really in this like stalemate of like trying to copycat some of the successful things.
Yeah.
And so because of that, you're having not a lot of originality. You're having people that aren't coming up with these really creative and new concepts, or even like twists or subversions to things that are cool, right, or good, or have been popular, but they feel too much like cookie cutter copycats, right? And so I think that manhwa, they're doing a really good job at like giving you this breath of fresh air in these like styles and in these like types of comics that aren't exactly done before.
And you see different relationship styles in it. I guess is a very refreshing point for me, because in Japanese manga or in anime we see most of the same relationship arcs. There's the main character and he either has a harem of girls or he has one dedicated lady that loves him no matter what, but he doesn't really like, and he doesn't show true feelings towards until close to the end when he realizes his true strength is his love for his friends or some shit like that. It just it always happens that same way. Or we have the character who is hated by everyone for some weird demon sort of thing that happened to him, and then he's actually the nicest dude on the fucking planet, and no one should ever hurt this man.
I know. Where's the character that everybody hates that should be hated?
Should be hated.
Yeah, where's that guy?
Because he's just a dick. And, he's just a smart dick. Where's, of course we had, what was his name? Light? Is that him?
Light, yeah. I mean, if we really want to get into it, we could talk about our ever so loving Arongi Kenshin Batosai, who everybody for some reason hated because he was a manslayer.
But that's what Jalen's saying though, is he's hated, but he's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Where's the character who's hated by everybody, but should be hated by everybody because he's a jerk.
Yeah.
He's awful. He's terrible.
It doesn't exist in shonen.
It does. Well, because it's more for kids, and it's trying to show them that they gotta be nice no matter what, even if they're good at shit.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
which I get.
With Vegeta for 2 arcs, and then Vegeta switched around. Vegeta would be so much better if everybody just hated him.
But we're getting that with Frieza though. With newer Frieza,
everybody loves Frieza now.
Yeah, but I guess that's what Jalen's saying. It's that's a fair enough point that he's hated, but hated for a good reason.
For a good reason, he's hated because he was a main bad guy. He took an arc and he became that.
I mean, he's still a bad guy. Let's not sugarcoat that. He's still I will kill everyone. Ha 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 ha.
You bastards.
But he's on the same team as 2 people who will choke him to death in his own bathwater, so he can't really do much.
Yeah, true. All fair. That's all fair points there. I mean, maybe we will get that manga where it's not. Here's my biggest problem with shonen, is that shonen manga is manga for kids. And I mean that in the realest. I mean it in the realest way possible. From a man who loves manga, shonen manga. I mean,
you love manga like Berserk and
not always
crazy like Tokyo Gore Police and shit like that. These are not kid mangas. These are not kid friendly shit, dog. We can't.
But my thing is that if you're gonna I love what they're doing with currently with shonen right now. There's Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is not. Yeah, that's shonen.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is not a fucking your average shonen manga, which I love. And that's why I want to see more out of shonen. I hope that they pick somebody who does something like that, who comes up with an original idea where the artwork is gritty. Or even if you look at fucking Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is not something for kids either.
That's not it's not. People die. Like
People really die.
People die in that shit, and it's like it's a it's a melancholy sort of thing, sort of situation. Like it's a sad but good, and it's like you get all these emotions tied in, and shit just happens. It's fucking crazy. It's a whole roller coaster. Yeah. But they don't shy away from the in-depth kind of like sad shit just because it's kids, you know?
Yeah, and
there's a way to go about it and have a gritty manga and have a gritty anime, but still like be able to show it to kids and not like fuck them up for life.
True.
Or even like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at a certain point is not for children. That's a grown ass man manga too.
Yeah. And if anybody is interested in doing it, the entry period is actually pretty long too. So like you have a lot of time to get ready because it's from May 1st of this year, 2020, to September 1st, 2020. Mm-hmm. So that's 4 months to work on and submit a manga.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you're like currently working on a manga and you've been working on it for a little bit and you
want to submit it?
You want to submit it? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like you can go to Medibang, MEDI Bang, BANG.com. That's where the contest is held. I'm pretty sure. I looked it up a couple times, and this is what I found.
Joe can put it in the description.
Yeah. We can do that. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember that. Just put that in the put it in the drive. Yeah, just do that. Do that for me, because I will fuck up and forget.
Oh, and you can also look at the submissions that are.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like to see some of your guys' stuff. If you do submit some stuff, go ahead and comment and tell me what you submit, and we can look at it, and I might talk about it, but I probably won't, because I don't either want to hurt your feelings or give you a big head.
Oh fuck it, I don't talk shit about it. I don't care. If it's bad, it's bad. Like you're gonna get feedback, okay? Just like they will give you. If you want to send it to us, you want serious feedback, that's fine. Some nigga made 2-piece.
Alright, who did that? I want to talk to you, because if I click on this and it's, because it looks like Luffy with a sword, if I click on this and it is just a thing about Luffy who is a samurai now, I don't like you.
Wasn't that what that one arc was about? Because they were all dressed like samurai?
No! He just picks up the sword because they're all samurai, and he's like, this is my sword now. And yeah, it's a whole thing.
No, I think that if you decide to go with this, definitely go in with expectations of people who really enjoy manga, looking at your manga, and the people. If your manga makes it up there, good shit, good for you, good for fucking you, because there's a lot of contestants out there, and a lot of people might get picked, and you might be the one that wins. So, enjoy just fucking putting something out there. That's one thing I could always say is that's the most fun, is just putting something new out there. And make sure to make it not a kid's fucking manga, please, for Christ's sake.
I think you have to.
Nah.
Make it kid friendly. Alright, just for the sake of it.
Got so many different.
I would just say, if you have a good idea, put it out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, you have a good idea, put it out there. It doesn't matter if it's for kids or adults or teens or whoever. I think if you got a good idea, submit it. Yeah, put it out there.
It's not a problem if you don't. I mean, shit. Nobody's gonna fucking hunt you down if you don't. But if you got something that's tight, let's say you got the next Berserk, just throw it out there, dude.
And I think the contest is more for writing than drawing. So, because they have a separate contest for drawing and illustration. So even if you have, sure, it probably needs to have some drawing accompanying it, but even if it's just crayons and fucking colored pencils, go for it, man.
If your idea is good enough,
if your idea is good enough, yeah.
Well,
and they really like it, they'll
take One Punch Man, for example.
Crayon Shin-Pan.
Yeah, One Punch Man started out with just like these scribbles on a page, pretty much. The art style was awful. It was all really crudely, terribly drawn. And then so many people loved it and loved the story that it got picked up and it got re-illustrated and then animated.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to get in here. If you got some ideas, good or bad, you just do it. Just get out there.
Make the next Hunter x Hunter. Make the next Hunter x Hunter. And don't take a big ass hiatus, please. Don't make it so wordy. That'd be great. Because big brains don't like reading words.
Small brains don't like reading words. Big
Fuck
brains
you,
love
bitch.
words.
No, big brains don't love words. I got big brain. Big brain don't like words. Big brain like big pictures.
That sentence tells me everything about your brain that I need to know.
Fuck you.
True.
Moving on to the final topic of today. So this is basically a topic combined into one. Because I didn't fucking hit enter on the computer. But it's two different topics, but I'm just gonna say fuck it. Dungeons and Dragons and just Dungeons and Dragons.
How about let's go into the League.
The League of Legends
first.
It's a little smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that like because I think I'm a little bit more versed in the whole like League scene than both of you because you guys like you play for fun every so often.
Teamfight Tactics.
Literally once a year.
Yeah. So, and I think like
I still don't know how to build items.
Yeah, so like just a small thing getting into the whole like League controversy that's going around lately is if you are familiar with League of Legends, popular online MOBA video game. The big thing that's been going around is if you're familiar with the creator Voyboy, he put out a video not too long ago that was talking about and describing the state of League of Legends and how each season it's progressively gotten worse in its toxicity. It seems like the more that the time goes on, he said in his response and in his video that he felt like things just weren't being heard. That you would get into a game, you would have these instances where other players were making the game unplayable for you, and in that situation where the game felt unplayable, you felt like nothing was getting done, like nothing was getting fixed, like nothing was getting taken care of. It didn't matter that there was a report system and that you could submit a ticket to Riot to let the company know that, hey, this person is purposefully ruining this game right now. And the only thing that it feels like they do right now is just hit on very like trigger words or like things like that like are specifically like noted in the system, where like it feels like your report system, your ticket system isn't working. And he said that it's making the game feel really unfun and unplayable. And for people like that who are big creators, who are personalities out there, who need this system to work and to be better and to have a good, just wholesome time playing the game. Because in his video he says, if you are toxic and you see someone being toxic to a streamer and you see nothing happening to that person, then what does that set the precedent for to the rest of the community? It shows that, well, if they can get away with it in this game with an audience watching, I can get away with it in my games with nobody watching.
Yeah.
And so it breeds this just breeding ground of like toxicity and people just being awful and mean and terrible to each other. When really, like, for the game to like continue to grow and thrive, they need to make it more friendly. They need to make the community better towards each other, or they're gonna have a serious decline in players.
Serious drop off, because like if it is a fundamentally team-based game. If your team is so toxic that they're just playing it by themselves on a 5-man team, you're gonna get stomped in and it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah.
If you come to a game and like somebody says, hey, how's it going? Let's have a good game. And one person is like, fuck you, I'm not here to make friends, I'm just here to play the game.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, and then they leave. Like, it's not a fun experience to even...
Yeah, and for those of you who aren't familiar with League of Legends, it's about a 30-minute to an hour-long game. Hour-long games rarely happen. Usually you're looking at a 30-minute mark for like a game. Sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes less. But it's about in that 30-minute mark is where your game will end usually. But it goes all the way up to an hour, or can. That's about the longest I usually see games ever go. And the thing that you have to realize here is that if you leave a game, or if you're toxic, or if you intentionally harm your teammates in this game, you're essentially ruining their experience for half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
It's a long process, and so if you are ruining this game for them for that long, that amount of time, it really can hurt your mental, your ability to go back and want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And and then that's the big thing, is that the person who's ruining the game, they're not getting punished the way they should. They're not being held accountable. And I do want to tell you both that he actually made a follow-up video where Riot actually responded to Voyboy, and they told him that they heard him, they heard his concerns, they heard the other creators that bounced their ideas off of him, and that also responded to what Voyboy was saying. And they said that that they heard him, and they want to further their, from here on, basically work on the things that he talked about. Work on giving an in-lobby report system, giving those quality of life changes that the game really needs. And I think that's a good response, but if they don't back it up, if they don't do it, words can just be empty promises.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's I think that it's a good first step, them saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, it'll still remain to be seen.
And we'll have to see how the system even works, if it's even effective.
Well, and plus, and I think there are still further problems with the game beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, and I'm curious here, obviously I'm a guest for today,
mm-hmm.
but I am curious to, know what your listeners do think. And so, if you guys hear this and you guys are listening to this, I'm interested to read on their video, what do you guys think about League? Besides the reporting and the toxicity, what else about the game should really get fixed? What are some things that Riot should kind of look at and work on?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the big thing, is the community needs to come together to kind of speak up on this
mm-hmm.
this topic, so that they can really get an idea of what needs to be done.
Yeah, and my biggest thing is, playing leagues now, a lot of what you said, it just makes me feel because playing leagues now, if you haven't played in a while or you haven't played before, getting into it is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard, because a lot of the people that play that, even if it's in casual games, act like they're playing for the major leagues. It's not that big of a deal. It's still a fucking game. And, a lot of people are still new to a lot of the roles, learning new champions and shit like that. And the game is legitimately fun when you can fucking play it, and when you can have fun with people. I remember the days when we first started playing leagues, and we had a lot of fun playing those games, but when you play solo by yourself, you deal with a lot of people who are essentially fucking volatile verbal terrorists.
Yeah.
Who just want to shit on your whole game. You make one mistake as the jungler, which is the guy who runs through the jungle trying to get kills or help with securing kills. You make one mistake by not jumping on somebody's lane, and you're obviously the worst player in the game at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the top laner is a person who is supposed to be your guys' tank, hasn't built tanky at all, has done jack shit to do anything to help. Their minion score is low because they don't know how to farm properly, and yet you're still the asshole because you didn't jump on their lane to help them. You're helping bot lane who has 3 people on it for no reason, and mid lane is being taken down because their jungler keeps on coming on mid lane, but you didn't put enough focus into top lane, so it's your fault that they lost their lane. It's not a fair environment to be in when you're just trying to play a game and have fun, especially if you're playing with 2 friends and a team consists of 5 people. So you got 3 other dickheads that come into your game, potential dickheads, to come and fuck up your game when you don't do what they want you to do, because you're trying to make sure that everybody's getting assistance, everybody's
there's
there.
always those people who will, fuck up a play or something like that, get outsmarted, and then they'll just fucking grief.
Yeah.
They'll just run it down mid, and you just be fucking trash. Yeah, like I have some friends who are pretty toxic on that fucking game. They were having a bad game, so they all ran it down mid. All of them got the fucking life ban. Sorry, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
It fucking suck. I don't think it was a life ban. I think it was a month or something like that. One of them got a life ban because he was cheating, but that's what happens when you're a fucking cheater. Scripting, bitch.
No, and my biggest thing is I love leagues. I love the lore of leagues. I hate playing leagues without friends. I want to play. I play Teamfight Tactics. I play Legends of Runeterra. I do not play leagues because leagues it's a community that makes me hate playing video games a lot of times, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
it's like-
fair to the game
And
itself.
it's less punishing in other games because it's not such a long, drawn-out team aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you have other games, if people are like that or if people treat you like that, it's like, it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think that's why League of Legends is a bit different because you are required for 30 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
to play with and rely on complete strangers.
Yeah, and that's one thing I liked about, because I used to play Overwatch pretty competitively. One thing I liked about Overwatch, even though the community was toxic, I still had the ability to win the game for my team, or even if one person was trying to grief, I still had an aspect where, you know, if they're griefing, I can make up the slack for that. I can do this, I can do that. With leagues, it's completely different. You're completely...
It's hard to do that.
It's hard.
If
It's
you're down a
really, it
person,
is really hard to do that nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm deficit.
Like when we used to play when we first started, we used to be able to do that kind of shit. But now, if one person fucks up, the whole team just decides to slowly fuck up, and it's a snowball effect. And it's one of the most frustrating things about the League of Legends community.
Because now when some of these champs get a little bit ahead in kills, it's over for the entire game.
Yeah, Talon.
The entire
Shout out
game,
Talon.
you're fucked.
Shout out Old Akali before she got nerfed. Way back.
That's okay. We can move on. I don't want to talk about that. I will leave. I will leave.
Hashtag Buff Akali. Bring her back.
Hashtag please.
Hashtag leave her alone.
Or hashtag revert crew.
Do something.
Anyways, I don't want to talk about it. Just make me salty. Let's have a good day, Joe. Let's have a good day.
Let's have a good day. But, you know, I think with that, I just kind of want to round it off now. I think we could finish off here, honestly. We could talk about D&D at another time because, honestly, I don't love D&D, but
Wow.
you guys do.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Fuck.
What?
Whoa.
I don't love D&D. You guys know this. This isn't
Wow.
new. This ain't new news, alright? I hate
Probably
fantasy.
true.
True though. It's true. No, it's fair.
I like futuristic shit. I like sci-fi. I like werewolves and
Futuristic
shit.
D&D. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
I mean, if we play Shadowrun, I'm totally in, but you gotta like give me patience because my brain don't work that way all the time because I'm tired and I got big brain, but big brain don't work all the time.
Small brain.
Small brain.
I think he's getting big and small mixed up.
No, big brain, big.
Big-
Small brain,
Big takes
small.
up more space. Small takes up less
Yeah.
space. So
Big head, little brain.
yes.
No, big head, big brain. Big brain, too much for big head.
But
Big brain hurt.
all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in, if you didn't, you can't hear this anyway. So what's up?
Yeah. You know what? And you know
What the
what?
fuck is up?
Why don't you do my friends a favor because I love them and they're great and fantastic. And if you see that red subscribe button, and if it's red, just make it gray. Just do the little thing. Just one little click and it goes gray.
Turn
You know?
into a fucking ghost. Kill that shit. Okay? Like tap it until your fucking computer breaks, but like
But
don't tap it like
make sure it
enough.
breaks when it is
Just
subscribed.
The initial tap, make sure that breaks because I don't want you to just on and off, on and off, on and off because then it's just gonna make the numbers weird.
It's
And
gonna
the
be
algorithm's gonna have a seizure. Then my channel's gonna get flagged. I don't want to deal with this. I gotta put in a claim to YouTube. YouTube's got to put in a claim to me, and then we're both making a claim entertainment, making Turok, which is a game for the N64, which nobody liked.
Yeah, wait, what?
I don't know if anybody could have followed that. I don't think anybody could have followed that.
But guys, have a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in.
Remember, comment to see who will win between Saitama or Goku. Even
Oh.
though we just went into a 20-minute discussion about who would really win.
Or tell me your manga names so I can read them, and I'll actually give you feedback.
Give me manga recommendations because I'm running low.
I think I can give you feedback on the site the site. So, yeah, I'll give you a heart or whatever if I like it. I won't if I don't, and you won't know if I did. So, I love it.
All right,
Goodbye.
guys, have a nice day.